All right, I think we have someone from every team at least. So let's get started. Yeah, I guess there's nothing much regarding Pectra yet because I mean it's still not advanced enough in Ethereum either. So unless someone has anything to say for Pectra specifically, but I kind of doubt it. Same thing for Hive tests, presumably, because I think they should all be ready for well, Denkun and everything before that, right? Marcos isn't here. Igor, do you know if all the tests are done for all the previous hot forks?
It feels so, but I need to. I mean, to be sure, I should check.
Yeah, it would be nice to check so that we are sure that we're up to date, basically on well the upstream tests.
Yeah, sure, I will do it.
All right. Do you have any updates regarding Shutter? I mean, I know we do, but still, Mark.
Yeah, so a big milestone, we got Shutter transactions included. So it was like I was able to successfully submit to the sequencer contract and have it decrypted and included in the block. So one caveat to that is that so it's connected to the keepers and it receives the decryption keys from them, but the keepers are still using the BN curve. So it doesn't actually use those decryption keys, and I've just like hard coded it for now. So once Shutter updates that, then I'll probably have to be a bit more testing to like just check everything could be like integrated together. And also the libp2p connection issue hasn't been fixed, so like it can run for like a while. I'd say like probably about half an hour or something, but eventually it will disconnect. So that's something we still need to look into.
Awesome. Well, I guess it's a good start at least. Do we have an ETA on the BLS curve change?
So Shutter like confirmed that they're happy to use it for the Gnosis testnet, but I guess I'm not sure when. But I think Yannick got a new keeper deployment working, or a deployed one, and then so he said he's going to be working on the curve now.
Awesome. Sounds good. All right. Well, then let's move on directly to client updates. Nethermind, do you have anything to say?
To be honest, nothing new because we are still fighting with some issues before this experimental SnapSync release. Yeah, but we are working on that, and we are working on Spectra as well. So that's the most important things right now.
Got it. Erigon?
We are working on Pectra as well, and also on Erigon 3.
All right. Guillaume?
Yeah, I'm working on Osaka. Just kidding. I'm working on so this morning I fixed the issue that I had that occurred not exactly at Denkun, but like a couple blocks after, which is presumably when the first blob was included. I fixed it this morning, so it's currently syncing, which is good. I'm about 1 week and 3 days behind the current head, still syncing, so that's less than 200,000 blocks. It's quite slow, but if it happens today, which it should, I'm going to be testing SnapSync around tonight. Yeah, that's it.
So wait, you said you're currently less than 2 weeks behind the head, so everything seems to be working for Denkun now as well, right?
Yes, yeah, we're definitely in Denkun territory now.
Nice, that is awesome news. And then for SnapSync server, what do you want to test specifically?
Just start a fresh node and see if I can sync from the other node that is currently full syncing.
Then,
yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear me well because everybody else sounds quite garbled to me, so it's probably my connection.
I don't know. Your sound seems to be very good on my side, at least.
Okay, well, good.
Awesome. Well, that's great news. Thank you for that. And then let's move on to Gateway. Any news?
No updates so far.
All right. Well, I guess a short one again. I mean, there's not much happening. Well, there is a lot of happening, of course, but not really Gnosis related until the Pectra is implemented. So I guess there's not much more to discuss unless someone has some topics in mind. Ryan, I see your mic is on. Anything to say? I guess that's a no. Well, then. Oh, 1 sec. Wait, I can't hear you. I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but. Oh, no, okay, he left and it's rejoining. That didn't seem to work. I guess we'll wait 1 more minute. Then, if it's not figured out, then we'll just leave it at that.
Hello?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Jesus. Okay, sorry. I wanna ask before leaving to Guillaume. We were discussing with Philippe earlier today about vertical Gnosis and the fact that the slot time is shorter, it would make an overlay transition harder. Could you comment on what is the upper bound that an overlay transition could take, and what are we risking if it takes too long?
There's no upper bound per se. It's just that it's taking forever. If you let's say you only translate 1 leaf per block, it will take you, well, depends on the size of the Gnosis state. So I'm not quite able to make this kind of statistics, but I should be able to start doing this this evening. But yeah, so depending on how many leaves you need to translate, it will take that many blocks. What happens with the Gnosis chain and the fact that blocks are on average 2.5 times, come 2.4 times faster. If you just divide the amount of leaves that you translate per block by 2.4, you should roughly have the same thing. Now, what we need is about 1 second. So we're targeting a block time, a conversion time of 1 second. So for us, that's 10,000 leaves. Well, let's say for us on mainnet, it's 10,000 leaves per block currently. If we did, imagine the size of the Gnosis state is exactly the same as mainnet, which I'm pretty sure it's not, and you only translate, let's say, 1,000 leaves per block. That would means you need 10 times as many blocks, right? But because blocks come 2.5 to 2.4 times faster, you would need, oh God, mental math. mental math. Don't do that. Don't do that at home. But yeah, it should be, if I'm not mistaken, twice as fast. Yes, if twice as long. Sorry. Yeah. Actually, sorry, four times as long. So we're targeting like 2 weeks. So that would make 2 months. Is there a problem with that? Not really. It's only that if you need somehow to make an emergency release, SnapSync is not completely figured out yet. So we might decide that during the transition, we don't do any SnapSync. If there's a problem, some nodes need to resync. They will only be able to SnapSync at the beginning of the like to the block just before the fork, and then they would have to full sync. So full syncing 2 months, as I'm currently seeing on my own machine, is a bit long. So that's the only problem, really. But otherwise, there's no problem whatsoever, or at least no identified problem at this time.
Okay, the transition time is finite in the sense that there is no new information being added. So every new writes go to the new tree.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it really depends on the only variable here is when you decide to start the transition, because then the MPT is frozen, and so the amount of time, or at least the amount of block that it's going to take, is determined at this moment and will not change.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I guess this would not really be, I mean, would not change anything for Erigon, right? Because they don't actually use SnapSync, but maybe that's, I mean.
Right, you're correct. We don't.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess this anyways will be a conversation for in a year or so. All right, anything else? All right, well, in that case, thanks for joining and see you next week.
Thanks.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.